Pro boxing fans here with Josh Taylor, Tyson Fury sparring partner supposedly. What did you make of that Instagram post?
Yeah, you know as much as me, mate. You know as much as me. I just seen his story. I was like, okay, no worries. I don't know what use I would be for him. I'm only 5'11", a light welterweight, and I'm injured, so it's like, I don't know what.
I thought it was a joke that you guys had.
Yeah, no, I just seen his story and I was just like, all right, okay, aye, no worries.
Yeah, I think it caught everyone by surprise. Let's talk about yourself, recovering from your injury. It seems like from the video clips that we're seeing, you're back in the gym doing bits right now. Yeah. How long are we going to have to wait until we see you fully back to 100%?
Well, I'm getting there now, you know. I'd say like I'm almost sort of there in terms of I can box now, which is the most important part. I can box now. I'm doing a little bit of boxing training, although it's still sort of conditioned training. I'm not really moving around. It's kind of static. I still can't really push off my foot properly too much without being in pain. But it's getting there. You know, it's getting better and better all the time. You know, I'm back to in the gym. I can do my S&C stuff and that now. I'm not back to running yet, so. And all that kind of stuff and plyometric stuff kind of training. I'm not back to doing all that kind of stuff yet, but we're getting there and we're ahead of schedule in terms of recovery. So, yeah, I'm happy with the way it's going.
Last time I talked to you, we spoke about Teofimo being one of the opponents. At that time, you were going to be fighting Jack Catterall. Obviously, you got your injury, but Teofimo Lopez is the name that everyone anticipates to see you in the summer. Big fight for everyone. Everyone's excited for this one. Just talk to me about how excited you are to face someone like Teofimo.
Yeah, it's a big fight, and then it's another little dream come true for me in terms of I'm going back over to America, Madison Square Garden, where all the giants have boxed. You know, there's not too many fighters that have done it from this side of the pond. So I am excited for it. You know, and headlining at Madison Square Gardens. You know, and I think the last person from Scotland to do that was my hero, Ken Buchanan. So I'm following the footsteps of my hero again, so yeah, it's I'm dead excited for it, and the fight itself I'm bang up for. You know, he's had a bit to say the last couple of years, shouting my name about and his dad and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be tasty if on the build up. It's going to be tasty, that's for sure.
I know you guys put in a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, but do you sometimes pinch yourself and think, you know what, I'm number one in the divisions that I'm supposed to be in. People are calling out my name across the shows. These big stars are calling my name. You're going, you know, in your head, you're going to be everyone. You're the best ever. But do you pinch yourself sometimes? Think, you know what, bloody hell, I've come a long way.
Do you know what? Not really, because I'm in the zone. I'm focused on what I'm doing, and I'm focused on what's next and what I want to achieve next and what I want to do next. So I'm always sort of chasing and hunting and what I want to do next. You know, I'm so driven. So no, I don't really do that. But to answer your question, the first time I did ever do that was the lockdown. So obviously we were all locked up in the house and not doing much, and I just bought my house, so I'm sat there. I had no furniture, but I had all my belts there that I'd won: the Ali Trophy, the WBA, the IBF, WBC silver, my Commonwealth belt, and the Ali Trophy there, and my Commonwealth Games gold medal. And I'm sitting there going, Jesus Christ, you've done all right, wee man, you know, for a wee guy from Preston Pans, and I've done all right in the sport, you know. So that was the only time really I thought, wow, you've done all right, and I'm proud of myself. You know, I had time to sort of reflect on my career. So yeah, that was the only time I've really done it. But I'm back now, and I'm back to doing what I want to do and chasing. So you forget about all that again. So yeah.
Obviously, I don't want to throw any Jack Catterall questions. I've already talked to Talksport, a lot of media here saying, listen, you eventually won that fight. You spoke to Simon Jordan. I know you guys, you know, I listened to that interview. What did you make of Simon, the way he was throwing the question?
Simon's a bit of a prick. He's a bit like Piers Morgan. He'll ask you a question and he just doesn't let you answer. He just speaks over you. So I never really managed to get to say what I wanted to say. I was halfway through saying something, and then he would butt in and just butt in. So it was kind of pointless, really. But yeah, he kept asking me about the rematch. He says, yes, the rematch. I've said it plenty of times that it will happen. Both of us still want to fight. Jack still wants to fight. I still want to fight. So it is still there. You know, whether it happens now or next year, it's still there. You know, but Jack needs to keep winning, and I need to keep winning for it to be there. But even then, I still think that the fight is there. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere. You know, so yeah.
Final two from myself. What did you make talking about Simon Jordan? Did you get to listen to the Eddie Hearn Simon Jordan debate that they had?
No, I've never listened to it. No, so
It was good.
I'm not really interested in it at all. It's dragging on, isn't it? But you know, if that had been anybody else, they'd been banned. If that had been anybody else without a big name and a big promoter at the back of them, they'd probably been banned. You know, so but you don't know the facts or the 270-page document and talk about eggs, and then he's changed his story and not said about eggs and clomiphene. I don't know what even that is, but it's just a very messy situation, and it's frustrating. You know, I think if it had been somebody else with a less name and a lesser profile, would have been a ban.
Final one from us.
It's frustrating as a fighter like myself as well. I get hounded every day where I'm going to be, my whereabouts programme, what I'm doing, where this, where that. Like every day of the year, I've got to tell where I'm going. If I'm staying somewhere, I've got to say where I'm staying and where I'm waking up and what time they can come and test me if I'm going to stay there. If I don't do that or I forget to do it, I get a strike against my name. And I've had 2 strikes against my name last year for forgetting to do that. Completely innocent, being lackadaisical, and I had 2 strikes against my name for admin errors. You know, so it's like, and then I'm sweating the rest of the year in case I get another one, and you know, you're stressed out all the time because you're thinking about your whereabouts, and you know, and then they're talking about him fighting when he's had 2 failed tests. You know, it's a frustrating situation, that's for sure.
For sure, I think a lot of fighters have said that as well, and we're still to wait on an outcome from everything, so there's still a lot of question marks. Let's talk about the last thing I want to talk about, actually. A lot of disappointment for fight fans over the last few days, hoping for a big fight between Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. There's a lot of disappointment in general in regards to boxing. Last year we wanted Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. There was talks on for ages, nothing came through. AJ Fury again, twice they had talks, nothing happened. Fight fans, you can see online that they're not happy with the situation that's going on.
It's quite frustrating that the big fights aren't getting made, you know, and obviously I'm part to blame for one as well, for myself and Jack's not getting made, but that was through injury, and then the WBO then come in and says, right, we're wanting you to fight your mandatory. So I'm like, right, okay, if I'm staying at the weight, I'm not going to lose the only belt I've got left, so without fighting for it, you know. So that was that situation. But yeah, it is quite frustrating, but I think a lot of that's to do with all the different promoters, all the different platforms, all like not willing to work with each other to make fights happen. And yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but me as a fighter, you know, I would fight anybody, and I'm pretty sure you ask most fighters, they'd fight with their own shadow. I'd fight with an empty house. Could start fighting an empty house. So I'd fight with anybody, and you ask most fighters, it would be the same. So it's quite frustrating.
Yeah, I've said to a lot of people in the past, our fighters are fighters, they'll fight anyone. Anthony Joshua will fight anyone, Tyson Fury will fight anyone, you'll fight anyone. Unfortunately, politics, broadcasters... Yeah.
I think that's what's taken over the sport. It's all the politics and broadcasters and business rather than the sport. The fighting is what's keeping it alive. And the UFC's taken over boxing. The UFC's well taken over boxing because all the best fighters fight each other. There's only one sort of platform, one championship belt, and all the best fighters fight each other. So, and they all beat each other every now and again. There's none of this protecting your role and all that carry on. All the fighters can have 10 fights, 4 losses, 5 losses, and it doesn't matter because they're still all fighting the best, and it doesn't matter. So, I definitely think the UFC has taken over boxing in that sense.
It is a good point though, because I watch both sports. If the number one loses, the fans don't write him off. They don't start going crazy after him.
Just because there's 2 fighters at the top and one fighter wins one night, it doesn't mean the guy that lost any less of a fighter. Because a lot of the top fighters can fight each other and beat each other 5 times each if they fight 10 times. You know, so it doesn't really matter. Just because you lose one fight doesn't make you a bad fighter.
Josh, it's a pleasure to talk to yourself. I did say I'd be 4 questions with yourself. I think I've gone over that too. I apologise. But look,
I don't know what school you went to.
But look, we're looking forward to seeing you back, man. It's been a long time since we've seen you in the ring. You're a massive talent, and we're so happy to see you. Hopefully we get to see that big fight in the summer with Teofimo Lopez. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.